So the solution what we can offer here is the SAP Business One. So any company who have not gone for a full-fledged ERP, I will say this would be the time for them to look at implementation of an ERP. It will be like two Tamil sonna oru kalla rendu manga, that is in one stone you get two mangoes. So you get a ERP system also implemented and you go away with do away with your problem of your GST, right? So here's SAP Business One. 9.2 version is a GST compliance is already there, so it's GST compliant. Just to give a quick brief on what the system can address for you, in terms of the functionalities, it offers financials, purchase, sales, inventory, production, and CRM. So as you can see, the system is full-fledged and a fully integrated ERP, which is basically going to help industries who are manufacturing or trading or job contracting kind of companies also. So we will take more details and questions of this product during the networking session. And finally, how it is doing that is through the masters. What you can see on the slide there, all the masters relating to the business partner, that is customer, supplier, item, state, all these things have been defined for the GST compliance. And all your sales processes like nil rated and regular sales, composition levy, exempt, non-GST, export, all these things are covered on the sales cycle. And coming to your inventory, it has got the job work, self-supplies, that is stock transfers, these are also addressed. Purchasing cycles are addressed fully, that is invoicing first, outgoing payment first, credit note, debit notes, everything is addressed. And the credit, ITC credit part of it is shown here. This is also addressed in the system, which is goods and services, both exempt, zero rated, specific products, intra and interstate, how it can be addressed, everything is shown there. And GST returns, probably just to give an idea to you, 10th, 15th and 20th of the month is for the regular returns for the regular taxpayers. And then quarterly for the composition scheme taxpayers, and yearly return by 31st of December of the next ensuing year. So before, if there is any question answer, I'll take it. And before that, just to give you an idea, SAP Business One ERP system is compliant from the GST perspective, and it will also help the user to download the reports of this input and output and your liabilities to upload the same through your ASP or your GSP into the GSTN network. Okay, and in line with the subject of discussion for the today's GMCV 2030, innovation and disruption technologies or disruptive technologies is what is coming up. So SAP Business One has certain success stories already done in terms of the disruption, integration and other part. So that we will be able to gladly discuss during the networking session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rajesh Kannan of Concur Infotech India Private Limited. A big round of applause, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're quickly breaking into
where the world is yours to explore, where new beginnings are familiar and family happens at hello, where every interlude is an experience and your senses ignite. Where welcome is much more than a word. And you never really check out of the adventure. Surprising, vibrant, timeless. This is where flavor means fireworks. And paradise is infused into everything we share with you. Where care is inherent and memories begin. This is where business means pleasure. And warmth is instinct. Where sleep means absolute serenity, and waking up to tea time is an indulgence. This is where the world comes home. Thank you for flying Sri Lankan Airlines. You're our world.
And as the memento comes, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for our airline partner, Sri Lankan Airlines.
Thank you so much. We now welcome GMCV.
Good evening, everybody. It was a pleasure for me to be invited by Mr. Karthikeyan to be the partner, the country partner of this event. And for me, it's a bit special. I will explain you why. Because myself also, I'm aeronautical engineer. I've been working in the manufacturing sector for 10 years, and I was one of the first Europeans to build drones for the military markets. So what you've been saying, what Mrs. Rashri was saying, really bounds to me. I come from this ground too. Okay, I've decided to go for another job. I'm now working as trade commissioner, helping companies and helping trade between our two countries. And what Ms. Rashri said was really interesting. If you want to go further, you have to go out your comfort zone. Don't stay safe. So it means also you have to go global, because the market is global. And with innovation, especially, you are going to other customers. You can reach other customers. And that's why I will be here to present you that Brussels, if you consider Europe, is the best gateway for your pan-European growth. So, what is Belgium and Brussels famous for? Who can tell me, please? Yes. Have a look. So you have chocolates, waffles, diamonds, beer. Okay. We have our symbols that are the atomium and the mannequin piece that you all know, the little guy. And in fact, we're not only famous for that. If you look at manufacturing, did you know, for example, that we have automotive sector that's quite strong? And this is only for Brussels, the Brussels region. We have UCB Solvay, so pharmaceutical and chemical companies, aeronautical companies, space industry, big players also in the building sector, and renewable energy. This is what we have in Brussels. For manufacturing, we have a lot of possibilities. So why is Brussels your best gateway to key markets? In fact, if you look at the geography of Belgium and the place where it is, it's really in the center of Europe. We've always been between the major players that were the German Empire, the Latin Empire, and the Anglo-Saxon. We've always been in the middle. And if you look, in a radius of 500 miles, you have 75% of the EU market in GDP, and also 40% of the consumers. And we also have unrivaled accessibility. Being so centered, you can enjoy meetings in Europe and come back the same day. If, for example, you take the fast train, 1 hour and 20 minutes, you'll be in Paris. 1 hour 55, London and Amsterdam. 3 hours, Frankfurt. And you have a really nice connectivity through airlines all over Europe. And improved connectivity with India, because Brussels Airlines just started a new direct flight from Brussels to Mumbai. It started on the 30th of March of this year. So it means that we want also more connectivity with India. It's also the capital of Europe, so it means numerous companies with European headquarters that could be customers for Indian companies, and also there is a lot of lobbying happening because of the European institutions and a lot of European fundings possible. So one of the great assets of our country, I would say, is the talent pool. If you look for an Indian company, our language skill is really good. If you look, we're just ranked behind the Netherlands, but if you compare to Germany, France, we have a much higher proficiency in English. And anyway, the business language is English. So, and also we have a very good educational system and universities that makes that we have this talent pool available for foreign companies. Another key asset is our competitive real estate compared to major European cities, because as we said, Brussels would be the gateway for the European market, so why paying more for an office when you can have it cheaper in Brussels? So if you look compared to other major cities like Amsterdam, Madrid, Milan, Paris, in a prime location, the rent is, sensitively lower than our neighboring countries. So this is a cost saver, and it's the same figure for private rent. So we also have an advantageous business environment. We have, I have to be frank with you, a standard tax rate, corporate tax rate, that looks quite high, 34%, not good. But this is how Belgium works. The north is quite liberal, the south is quite socialist. So to make everybody happy, we have a high standard tax rate, but we have put so many unique tax incentives that you will lower your effective tax rate a lot. And then you get levels that are very comparative to our neighboring countries. And the key tax incentives I have to explain you for an Indian company is, for example, the foreign executive status. Foreign executive status, it means that a non-European coming to work for a company, all the time that he's spending outside of Belgium will be tax-free, up to 40% of the amount. Because we consider that you come to Brussels not for Belgium, but for the European market. So why would we tax you when you spend your time outside of Belgium? And this is up to 40% because, the law says that you pay your taxes where you stay 180 days a year. So this is how it works. We try to promote a lot innovation, so we have a lot of incentives around R&D, foreign researchers, and if you look, for example, at big corporations, it's quite also a very, very good country for patents, because we strongly believe also that innovation will be the future for our country. So if you look and you have worldwide patents, come and put them in Belgium. You will see it's the lowest rate of tax in the world. So, and the cherry on the cake, and this is for me what's very unique and what we propose, and what could be very interesting for your kind of companies, because as you know, manufacturing is not happening in our countries anymore. Manufacturing is done in India, in China, because we can't compete with the labor costs. So what happens, you have good products, and with innovation you will have even better products. So why not opening a sales and marketing office to reach the European market? And what we have therefore is a unique tax incentives, and we are the only one in the world to do it, is that the first employee you hire, and that will be most of the time the CEO, he will not pay tax for the rest of his life. It's an incentive that we have for the first job created in a company. And this is for the whole life of the job, not linked to a person or whatever, it's for the life of the job. And we have similar incentives but are limited in time for the second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth job that is created. So also in Belgium we have we quite good ranked in the ease of doing business. And for Indian, what's very important to know is that you can have 100 foreign ownership in your company. We have a double taxation treaty with India. We have a bi-social security agreement between our two countries, so you enjoy the best healthcare system. And also you don't have limitation on repatriation on capital between the different entities you have. So, and also compared to the work permits and everything, you would have to pay a lesser amount per year compared to our neighboring countries, because the cost of living is less also than our neighboring countries. And we provide you access to the globe with Brussels Invest and Export, and I will explain you why. So if you look at the map, these are the places where we have Brussels Invest and Export trade commissioners. We have in total a network of 80 trade commissioners around the world, and what happens, we are a one-stop shop for all invest-related matters. And we have a team also of 15 persons working in Brussels that are there to help you, to introduce you to the Belgian network. And what we do, when you start a company in Belgium, we consider you as Belgian. So you have access to all our services. And a Belgian company contacting me, for example, in finding distributors in India, I will help them. And so we open you the gates of the world, because our system is made really for export. We want